Specialists have expressed concern regarding the missing submersible, fearing that it may have been crushed and fragmented. According to news outlets, it has been reported that experts have located a field of scattered remains that was detected by a remotely operated vehicle. As of right now, the details are presently under examination. Experts have said that the crew wouldn't have felt any pain and noted that it would have been instantaneous, like a switch being turned off. On the 18th of June, the underwater tourist vessel disappeared when communication with it stopped approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes after it had dived into the water. According to Dr. David Gallo, an expert in marine exploration, the Titan's pilot, Paul-Henri Nargelet, and his team likely encountered an issue in the middle of the ocean that led to the loss of power or communication. Dr. Gallo speculates that a catastrophic implosion of the submersible is the most probable cause for the sudden disappearance of the team. This unpleasant possibility leaves little hope for recovery. The submersible vessel Titan, which travels independently in water, measures approximately 22 feet or 6.7 meters and can reach speeds of up to 3 knots per hour. Due to its design, the vessel is not tethered to the surface like many other water vehicles. However, it should be noted that if even a small crack or fault is present in the carbon fiber and titanium hull, an implosion could occur, causing a bubble to form due to the weight of the water. G. Michael Harris revealed that the Titan required over 2.5 hours to reach its destination. According to Michael Harris, it's imperative to keep in mind that operating in an environment with 6,000 pounds per square inch is incredibly hazardous. In fact, fewer individuals have dived to this depth of the ocean than have traveled to outer space. In such scenarios, divers must exercise complete precision and adherence to protocols. Even more so when transporting tourists to such depths in a newly created sub that has only been in use for a few years. The situation is far from ideal. According to Rear ADM John Morga, who is in charge of the 1st Coast Guard District, the Titan submarine's tail cone was found by a remotely operated vehicle deployed by Horizon Arctic. The discovery was made on the ocean floor, around 1,600 feet away from the bow of the Titanic. According to his statement, the wreckage appears to indicate a severe damage to the pressure chamber, implying a major catastrophe. According to Azmeh Dawood, the elder sister of Shahzada Dawood, a well-known billionaire businessman, Sulman had expressed to a family member that he was apprehensive about the trip and did not feel comfortable with it. She expressed a feeling of disbelief regarding the situation, saying that it seemed unreal. According to her, her brother had a keen fascination for the Titanic since a young age, and he thoroughly enjoyed exploring museum exhibitions related to the shipwreck. She used the phrase "absolutely obsessed" to describe how his interest in the topic consumed him entirely. Ron Allum, a proficient oceanic engineer and adventurer from Australia, was one of the co-designers of the Deep-Sea Challenger submersible. This submersible enabled Cameron to achieve the unprecedented feat of reaching the Mariana Trench's deepest point on Earth's seabed in 2012. In 2005, Allum collaborated with Cameron for his documentary Last Mysteries of the Titanic. Underwater, sound travels with high efficiency, according to Allum, and the resulting implosion could have far-reaching effects, as it could be heard up to thousands of miles away and recorded. It's probable that an implosion would stimulate detections in military hydrophones, which are instruments used to either record or listen to sounds below the surface of the water. Allum suggested that the sub's pressure hull remains intact, but suggested that it has lost power. Consequently, the Titan submarine is expected to have automatically released weights in order to resurface. On Sunday, the tourist submarine that was exploring the Titanic wreck lost its communication in the northern parts of the Atlantic Ocean. In case the vessel is located, the duration needed for retrieval will be dependent on its location and existing condition. Allum cautioned that in the event that the pressure hull is filled with water, the weight of the vessel's dry mass will need to be considered because it could be a substantial amount. He said that if the object were undamaged, a remotely operated vehicle could dock onto it and lift it to shallower waters where a more robust cable could then hoist it out. However, this operation may last up to 1 or 2 hours. The remotely operated vehicle might encounter difficulties maneuvering around the wreckage. As a result, it could take several hours to detach the submersible from the seabed. According to Allam, the inability of the submersible to surface during an emergency could be due to the failure to release its drop weights, compounded by partial flooding of the pressure hull. If there is water in the pressure hull, it occupies a significant space. Despite the drop weights being relatively small, they could be responsible for keeping it submerged. If the occupants are situated in a semi-submerged pressure hull, it can have disastrous consequences, which include hypothermia. It is also uncertain how effective the CO2 scrubber systems would perform in the presence of water. According to Dr. Glenn Singleman, an expert in extreme medicine from Australia who has explored the wreckage of the Titanic, the potential issues of insufficient oxygen and an increase in carbon dioxide levels are a cause for concern for the occupants of the lost submersible. According to the expert, in order to maintain the internal environment, it is important to regulate the oxygen flow, eliminate carbon dioxide, and control water vapor. Additionally, monitoring the water temperature is also crucial, as it can be as low as 0 to 1 degree Celsius. Singleman has provided medical expertise for various deep-sea exploration endeavors, such as Cameron's documentary on the Titanic, the Deep Sea Challenger expedition, and the 5 Deeps expedition led by Victor Vescovo. To maintain air quality and prevent carbon dioxide buildup, submersibles employ scrubbers, typically composed of soda lime, that effectively remove CO2 from the atmosphere. Singleman explained that the issue arises when you reach a saturation point and need to replace the soda lime. He also mentioned that when the CO2 content in the air increases, people start experiencing symptoms, saying that typical symptoms include hyperventilation, headaches, and an overall feeling of illness. A Canadian plane conducting a search for the submarine in the Atlantic Ocean picked up on and off banging sounds emanating from the area where the submarine was last spotted. Nevertheless, the origin of the noise remains unknown. Guillermo Sonline, co-founder of OceanGate, holds the view that the occupants of the Titan submersible that has gone missing have a greater amount of time at their disposal than is generally believed. According to Mr. Sonline, the team, including OceanGate's CEO Stockton Rush, on board the submarine would have learned earlier to conserve supplies and increase the chances of being rescued by staying calm and relaxed. According to the crew members' expertise, the period available for rescue operations is more extended than the common belief. Mr. Sonline clarified that he was expressing his personal views and not the official stance of OceanGate. According to him, Thursday is going to be a significant day to carry out the search and rescue operation. The oxygen supply on the lost Titanic tourist submarine was projected to be exhausted on Thursday, which has raised questions as to whether the search and rescue operations by the US Coast Guard will be terminated. Usually, in scenarios where an individual or a group of individuals are stranded in the midst of an ocean, the Coast Guard designates a mission coordinator to oversee the search and rescue operation. Nevertheless, in situations where there is no probability of the individual being alive or recoverable, the mission is aborted. Currently, the United States Coast Guard is in the process of continuing its search and rescue mission for the group of 5 individuals who were on board a 22-foot submersible. While conducting the search and rescue operation, Rear Admiral John Morga of the US Coast Guard said that the crew members and their families are in the forefront of our mind. They are also aware of the time constraints and have taken into account various data and information. He stated that the search and rescue operation is still ongoing, and they are currently utilizing remotely operated vehicles on the seabed to increase their search and rescue capabilities. The remotely operated vehicles not only enhance the search operation, but also provide rescue potential. So, what do you make of this recent announcement? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.